Hey guys, Coach Keith Keppner here, and I'm going to go through some videos on Instagram for boxing and give you my input on it. And to be clear, I'm not trying to disparage or put down anybody. There's always things learned from almost everybody, and I'm not trying to say I'm better or worse than any of these people putting out stuff, but I'm doing this as an educational opportunity because I know people do learn stuff from this, and it's stuff that I share with my guys anyways to address certain things to watch out for and pitfalls I see fighters falling for, people getting into boxing, specifically newer people too. Like, and when I say new, I don't mean your first month. I mean your first couple of years of boxing. Because when you're in your first couple of years of boxing, believe it or not, you're still new. I know you don't believe me, but you are. Take it from me, please. By the way, why should you listen to me? I've coached amateur and professional boxers for going on 15 years. I boxed in the United States and Mexico. I was mentored and coached by my father, who was a professional boxing coach for multiple decades. And then he was mentored and coached under Chuck Bodak, who worked with over 50 world champions, and he was the Olympic coach for Muhammad Ali. So that's who I teach the lineage of, along with everything I've learned from my father's experience and from my experience as well. All right, but let's get into it. First one is this one, how to block all punches. So let's check it out. All right, so he definitely did block all punches. Let's look through here though. So first off is somebody shoots a jab and we close the eye, number one, right? We've all made mistakes like flinch and stuff like that, but just know that that's something that is not a good idea to do. From a very squared stance too, very squared stance. Next one comes here. Good, eyes are open, nice. That's a good standard block. I like that pretty good. Also notice he's not hitting himself in the head, so I like that too. Now, next one, hooks. So right about maybe there is good. But also we don't need to square up so much with the hook, because when you square up with the hook, unless you're looking to counter with the left hook, you're opening yourself up for the logical follow-up after the left hook, which is what? A right hand, straight down the pipe, or a rear uppercut. And right here, so a block like that also, you're making it so your only counter is going to be your left hand. If you put that block down a little bit, have the elbow in, not only do you get the affordance of protecting against a liver shot, but you also get to shoot your right hand counter, which is a great counter for a left hook. Now you might be thinking, well, if I shoot a right hand countering the left hook, I'm just going to get creamed by a right hand at the same time. Well, Mr. Boxer, just bring your head offline with the right hand a little bit, and you won't be in the same pocket to get hit by it. Now let's finish it up here. The uppercuts. Yeah, you know, you can definitely, if from being in a good stance, really, see, okay, with the second one, yes. With this first one, opening up like that for that, not a very good idea. Now, if you want to spike the uppercut, you get some reward for that type of movement, but he's just really kind of blocking it. But again, if you just stay side up in your stance, a lot of times uppercuts can't get you unless you're leaning forward a little bit, or they're just very good at navigating how to land the uppercut and kind of extend it out in a certain fashion. Now, with this one right here, you know, I like that one quite a bit. Let's see if I can pull it back just enough to get the exact shot before he winks at us. And notice too, looking down at the uppercut. When you block punches, don't look where it's coming from. Watch the chest. So you use your peripheral vision to see all the shots. Don't look down for uppercuts, up for straight punches, and to the side for hooks. Not going to be a good time. So right about there. If you stay sided up in your position, the right uppercut has a hard place to land, doesn't have a good place to land, and you can go out and spike it with the elbow, whether you spike the actual fist or the median nerve of the wrist. All right? So that's enough on that one. Let's go for the next one.
All of this stuff here, what's all that?
Okay, so stop doing that when we hold pads. Stop doing what?
I'm not giving them all of this. All of this stuff
shuttling
here.
them around.
What's all that about me? What's that? Stop it! Stop!
Don't you love the feels like fake forced outrage?
Stop! What is it with boxing trainers these days when they're doing this with their boxers? Why are we doing that?
Well, so I agree and disagree. Just to be Mr. Contrary, but there is a time and a place for doing stuff like that. I find. Why? Because you have people that tend to always go a certain way when you come at them. This is a great way to usher them, because that's really what it is. It's kind of like ushering somebody around, a movie theater or whatever, or a theater. You usher them off to the side. And this way it makes it very clear which way you would like them to go, because there are times as the coach or the mid holder to direct the action. There are also times when you shouldn't direct the action, and both those things need to be taken into consideration. And also as well, helping understand, I typically do it more so with how I come at someone with my body. So if I generally want to elicit somebody to move off to their left side, I will come more to their right shoulder so they get the feel of that as the natural exit, and they read those things. So I see his point here, but also as well, we have guys all the time that will always exit a certain way, or maybe not the most advantageous way. And this is not a bad way to guide them. There's different things you do with mitts to guide, to teach, to influence.
With your boxer, you should make them think about moving by moving in front of them like you would do in a real fight. 1, 2. 1, 2, hook. Yeah. Now I've got to make him think. He's thinking, not me.
So again, not a bad idea to not show them where to go, but there's a time and a place to use the mitts in quite a few different ways as what? As teaching tools. And as most people will say with boxing, there aren't enough good teachers out there. So let's use all the tools we have available, as long as we're not teaching like bad and wacky habits that don't make sense. All right. But again, yes, people overdo this stuff because it looks cool, but I think it does have a use in certain instances. I think what really gets me is just kind of the fake outrage thing, but whatever. Oh yes, this guy, the shocked reaction boxer. Okay, so I guess we're doing different styles around the world. In this representation, the U.S. kind of sucks. Alright, so Mexico is left uppercuts, hands up, and uppercuts. Uppercuts and hands up and uppercuts? Oh, we got a left hook in there. Okay. Hooks and uppercuts. Yeah, Mexicans aren't known for jabbing a lot. Not that, obviously, there aren't plenty of exceptions to that, but I can kind of see that. Okay, you got the Russian amateur style, right? Which is really just a amateur style in general of bouncing in and out. Which is actually a lot like this style here, which is the Cuban style. There's a lot of bouncing in and out, but let's see how they find a difference. Doing like a Ali Shuffle style foot step. Let's watch it one more time. 1, 2, 1, spin with the hook. Okay, and then we go to US, we go to Eminem, I guess, and we go to, what is this? Peekaboo style? This is definitely a peekaboo style type thing. I'm sorry, is that really a US thing? I'm meaning like someone comes from the US and that's how they box? You guys overseas, when you came across a US fighter, did they fight like that? And to be clear, I'm talking about actual fighters. I'm not talking about if you just train or whatever. Okay, I'm talking about actual fighters. I don't see that. I see a lot of versatility. It's kind of a lame cop-out. And Uzbekistan. Well, I don't know. Forgive me, but the Uzbekistanis, again, amateur style. The 1-2-1, very similar to the Cuban style, Russian style. Russia's a little more bouncy. They're all bouncy in and out, dog. Straight punches. That just kind of frustrates me. Whatever.
Here's how to throw a lightning fast jab your opponent won't see coming. Creep into range. Square up for better leverage. Turn the hips and upper body quickly. Let your arm whip out. Turn your knuckles over.
One thing I like a lot is the sitting back more on the rear leg. Like, that's awesome. Big fan of that. lead leg looked like it got straight a little bit, but on the rear leg, sitting back on that. I like that a lot. Now, the premise of this punch, or the premise of this demo is what?
Here's how to throw a lightning fast jab.
A lightning fast jab that
Your opponent won't
Now,
see come.
automatically by opening up your shoulders every time you jab,
Opponent won't see.
you're automatically making the jab slightly more telegraphed, adding more time to the punch to reach the person's face. Now, to be the steel man arguer, you are making it look like you're about to throw a left hook. So that could be a use, and it is important to be able to throw punches off of different positions. But I don't see how it makes it faster. I do see how it makes it more powerful. I've talked about, I think, in at least a few of my videos, but any of you guys spend time boxing, you know, if you're a little bit more square like this, and then you bam, turn like that on the jab, that creates a nice hard jab because you're exploiting the rotation of your body now versus just the step alone. If we double up like that, turn, it's going to be hard to double and triple a jab. Better as a foundation to just stay sided up and to move with the jab, to get that little step with it, to snap it, get more range with it, more speed with it, and you don't open yourself up quite as much either. Let's go on to the next one. For some reason, there's no sound on this video, which is okay. I guess you could say like I'm like setting him up, but no, I mean, you know, good coach. His son, I believe that's his son, is going pro. You know, has a few pro fights, and he's doing his thing, and he did well as an amateur, and that's great, man. More power to them. So this is, again, I'm gonna come at this from the angle of what is the highest leverage thing to focus on. It is so easy to get caught in a lot of different moves. There are literally infinity moves you could learn as a boxer. Now, I'm not saying you should learn one move and that's it, and be the person that practices one move 1,000 times and you're going to be the man that's feared, because you're going to come across someone that has the answer to that move and you got to have an answer to the answer. But let's focus on some general answers that are high leverage. And from my experience of working with a ton of people from beginner to intermediate, they spend a lot of time getting sidetracked by stuff like this, and this could be you. All right, let's watch the move, though. All right, so it's hand swipes, but it's how to land a left uppercut. So best ways, you have someone in this position like this to land a left uppercut, you could just throw a left uppercut, right? You could lead with it. You could also throw it off of a combination. Like, you could throw it off of a right hand left uppercut. You could throw it off of a doubling up on one side with the left hook to the body left uppercut. You could do a right hook to the body left uppercut, right hook, left uppercut. Those are all beautiful things that open up the guard more, influence it to get opened up. They'll create you an opening most of the time. So again, from my experience, the highest rewarded things to do, someone in this kind of position. And by the way, kudos to him. One thing I really like about Tom, there's quite a few things. So sorry to say one thing, but something I like right here, and I've seen Tom talk about in his other videos, is that weight on the back leg. That's so important, and that's so underutilized and talked about. So big kudos on that. But right here from this position, off a right hand punch, can set you up a left uppercut, or doubling up your left hand with a left hook to the body or the head will set you up a beautiful left uppercut. Like right here from this position. Put a combo together of 2 punches or more punches that will set that up. You got it. You got it all day. Now, let's do the hand swipe, though. So we're going to go here. And we're going to grab around and reach. So here, in tight, video glitched. There we go. Sorry on that video glitching. But so you swipe it out and off. All right, so to this point here, you are neutralizing that hand at that point. But in old school boxing, in my opinion, the standard boxing philosophy that I tend to lean towards, your rear hand is going to be the hand that stops that left uppercut. Or you could say your rear elbow could stop it too. And of course, while someone's doing that, you have an opportunity to get a shot off as well. Now you can, again, to steel man this, because you need to understand the steel mans and the straw mans, right? Or at least not try to straw man things and try to steel man the opposite argument, is that it's something that just throws people off. Like, what is this guy doing? Is he trying to grab me and things like that and throwing a punch off it? Yes, you could definitely make an argument for that. So that's where that's helpful. But again, what do we need to spend our time focusing on? All these little tips and tricks, or putting a couple punches together that create that opening? You decide. Boom. Again, accomplished by merely that right hand going before it has to do all that, because it doesn't clear a path that wasn't already there. You could say it distracts, yes, but that distracts too. If you just throw a right hand like that, then you have a left uppercut even without doing all of that. All right? Very basic. And again, while you're manipulating that, if you're somebody who's shorter, while you're doing this maneuver, pull it back here. While you're doing this maneuver, this is where I see people get tripped up too. You go here, and then the dude just scoops your arm up, right? Just goes there, your arm's right there. He steps in a little bit, slides, wraps his left arm around you, and now you're trapped. And now what are you going to do? If you got someone who doesn't want to participate, they want to tie you up and be rough with you too, that's a challenge there as well. Versus throwing those punches, it's going to be a little harder to tie someone up. All right. We got just a couple more and we're done. Sorry, I promise you I'm not going after Tom, like, just trying to go after him for no reason. I just happen to have two in a row here. This one has sound, the one where he's not talking. Sorry, Tom, jeez. You're trying to set you up for failure here. Anyway, working people's defense. Again, he's back here with his son. He's doing really well, and that's great. He looks super slick. And working defense is so important. It is so important, underutilized. And any fighter that spends time working defense, shadow boxing defense, even doing the sausage defense, or whatever, with the tools, making it different, cool. Makes it so he can't hurt the kid, I guess. But anytime you spend practicing good defense is time well spent, because you as a fighter, you need to know how to protect yourself. You need to know how to defend yourself and be offensive. And if you're lacking one of those things, you're going to have problems, especially if you're going to try to get up levels at all. All right? So good stuff. Now, the sausage thing is good. The working the defense is good. In my opinion, that this is generally better. Okay? Now, you see here, similar type of thing with the left low, working on catching, blocking, shoulder rolling, things of that nature, working head movement as well. I don't know how choreographed this clip is. It could be, it could not be. But you can literally freestyle someone's defense like this as they get good enough, and also not throw crazy hard. Not squeeze all the way on your punches or squeeze at all on your punches. And what I like about this is it gives the fighter that's working defense proper range understanding, and properly how to intercept the punches. Where the sausage lacks is that one is like the resistance at all is nowhere near what it would need to be. And you can say, well, he doesn't have gloves on. You can do that without gloves. When my father was coaching me in the United States and Mexico, he worked my defense with no gloves on. He had gloves on. I had no gloves working defense. So I had no gloves working defense, catching, blocking, etc. And he had gloves. And you can do that. Or you can do like this where you both have gloves. Ideally, you have your competition size gloves on. And that way you don't rely on gloves being too big. I had this one fighter who would train with 18-ounce gloves for a while because he wanted kind of the, maybe the theoretical endurance benefits of training in bigger gloves. But what ended up happening, though, is he would spar with the 18s and things like that. And it made his defense more sloppy. And he was someone that had very, very, very good defense. He was actually a gentleman that I think in another video I mentioned that James Toney told us personally that you, fighter, you have world-class defense, because he and I worked on it. And he lost that, though, when he had those big pillows on in his training. So all these things come into play, but understanding proper range, how to intercept the punches versus intercepting noodles or sausages is better. All right, let's finish off with just a little laugh to be done.
Claude Van Damme en
So this style, right, the Drunken Master style.
Ganar o Morir.
Oh yeah,
Con Rosanna Arquette en
let's watch that one more time.
Ganar
Phantom punch.
o Morir.
You see how that bag slipped that punch perfectly, man? Whew. Got to pick up some defense from that bag. So if you want to work with me, check out the custom elite high-level program that I do with people all around the world. So you're not limited by your zip code with who you work with. And I've helped so many people get to the next level already in the short time I've been doing it. And I'd love to work with you as well. So check that out if you think it'd be a good fit and if you'd like to work with me. And make sure you watch out for that next video.